नाज़रीन, मेरा नाम ताहिर अली है और इस वक्त मैं आपके सामने जूम एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन की हैसियत से हाजिर हुआ हूँ। वैसे तो मैं बोर्ड PAGB की बोर्ड में भी हूँ, लेकिन इस वक्त मैं आपके जूम एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन की तरफ हूँ कि इसलिए आपको पता है कि जूम में थोड़ी बहुत कमी है, देयर आर लिमिटेशंस and we are also a slave of the internet. So there will be some times we may expect some outages right away, and I might freeze up, somebody else might freeze up, and that's because it's inherent with the Zoom. So you have to bear with us and bear with us with the technology. तो चलिए फिर इसी तरह मैं प्रोग्राम स्टार्ट करता हूँ.
My name is Siraj Khan. That sitar piece that you heard was actually from Jashin-e-Azadi event played by a young man and student, Shazain Khan. And so we will start the proceedings. I would think the first thing which comes to my mind and which I want to share with everybody is that today is September 11, and back in 1948, it was the day when the founder of Pakistan, Quaid-e-Azam Mohammad Jinnah, breathed his last. It's a very significant day in that way, but also significant that Quaid-e-Azam himself was such a torch bearer of education and of philanthropy. And we kind of thought that we would do this today, and also the fact that Farida Ahmad was in Boston herself. So speaking of Farida, I need to introduce you a little bit about her, and I hope, ladies and gentlemen, you are all with us, all tuned in. So so how do I introduce Farida Ahmad, the CEO of MOQAH Foundation? In short, Farida is an educator and a trainer with over 30 years of hands-on experience in education, teacher training, curriculum development, evaluation, and school administration. She has held senior positions, management positions at Value Resources, Westminster School and College, Islamabad, and the Capital School. Farida has set up and managed free schools, designed and implemented various educational projects, including professional training and development, programs for teachers, as mentored projects, and floated language development programs in Pakistan. She's also been engaged with various initiatives focused on women empowerment, livelihood, and skills development. A graduate of Lahore College for Women University, Farida is also certified trainer from Oxford Seminars in New York. She has braved the pandemic last month to travel to Boston to see her son, and is scheduled to return back to Boston on the 13th. So we managed to catch her just in time. PAGB is extremely pleased and proud to work with MOQAH Foundation. And on that said, Farida, welcome to PAGB Boston, and I leave it to you now to tell us more about what you're doing, more about the schools that you manage, and MOQAH Foundation in general. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Siraj, and thank you everyone for joining us today. So MOQAH, as you know, means opportunity. And the very fact that the goal of this organization is to move youth and women from poverty to opportunity, hence MOQAH Foundation. The organization is one of the many non-profits working to provide education to underprivileged children who would not have had access to education otherwise. So our goal is educating youth, especially girls, as parents give priority to boys when it comes to educating them, and girls are obviously never empowered, or for that matter, they are not in school. So we work for empowering them and to give them the opportunity for a better life and financial management. The journey of MOQAH Foundation started in 2009. This was when it was an affiliate and an implementing partner of Marshall Direct Fund, a registered 501c3 operating out of Colorado. We have a three-pronged approach, and which is basically youth education, women empowerment, and cross-cultural engagement. Working on these three lines, the organization was eventually registered in 2000. MOQAH Foundation itself was registered in 2013 under the Securities and Exchange Commission of Pakistan, and it has been operating in two communities where there were no schools, and children were either into child labor or were street children. But one of the localities is Barakohu, which is the outskirts of Islamabad. The other one is Kot Abdul Malik, which is about 40 minutes from Lahore towards Sheikhupura. At present, we have about 500 children who are in these two schools. And due to non-availability in the school areas, the children are mostly in this way with us. The second thing that is very important here is that this Kot Abdul Malik is a factory area in an industrial area, which we should say. So where people are, the children are employed as child labor. So to discourage that, and as we know, in Pakistan, it is an accepted norm to have children work in school, factories and various. So interestingly, that's one reason that we are in these two areas. Another thing which has brought cultural diversity and different ethnicities together is the fact that when we set up the schools, Barakohu was the place where Afghan refugees camps were. And over a period of time, these refugees have moved on to closer to Islamabad, and they were resettled in Barakohu. And they stayed on there till they were repatriated in 2016 and 17. This was one group, and this comprised almost 50% of the students that we had were Afghan children. So it was a great opportunity for the organization to be able to impart education to them. So later on, with the migration of IDPs following an army operation in 2008, children from Waziristan joined the school in Barakohu again. And this is how we had a very diverse, we still have a very diverse, these children from Waziristan are still with us. Though we lost all our students, who had initially joined the school when they went back in 2016, 17, when the Afghan refugees went back. So we look at building gender equity among our students. While we support both boys and girls, we encourage or admit boys only once their sisters are enrolled or they are already attending the schools. So this is one thing which we make sure that we have the girls in those areas. And teachers have been going around in the communities convincing people to send their girls particularly to school. And to change attitudes and social norms, we collaborated with Girl Rising. I'm sure we must have heard about it. It's a global campaign for girl education and empowerment. So they use the power of storytelling. And these are 9 stories from 9 countries in Pakistan, all over the world, where girls face challenges regarding empowerment, regarding education, and how they break those challenges. It was very inspiring to see how our children reacted to those. So it gives them more courage, faith, and conviction to carry on like that. So our other program is about women empowerment. for which we have, basically it's for the youth that we educate. So once our 10th graders are done with their matriculation, we give them enterprise development trainings. Mostly, and other thing that we do is the communities where we are working and operating. So with mothers, sisters, or other community members, so we encourage them to come attend our free training, which is a 40 hours training class of about 4 to 5 days, where we teach them financial skills. And we encourage them to start their own work, or they start their own businesses working from home, which is a new concept for us, but it's a concept it's an introduced concept to those women, that while they are at home, they can start up with some business, or they can take up some work which they can do. So which will, of course, empower them for, it's a lifelong empowerment for them. These two programs, along with these two programs, we have our cross-cultural engagement, which is our Global Kid Global Kid Connect Pen Pal program. So classrooms in Pakistan are connected with students in the United States through letters, through photographs, through sharing their cultural events and whatever, as diversity, basically creating diversity and encouraging moving them to through all the what Missy is here with us. She will share her experience and tell you more about the program. But I leave it at that. This is one of the programs that MOQAH Foundation is proud of. So our children get to learn a lot when they connect with these children. More about our program. As I initially mentioned, that we took off from Marshall Direct Fund, which was initially, which started functioning in Pakistan and set up these schools and these programs. So there has been a transition from MDF to Marshall Direct Fund to MOQAH Foundation. They were with us till, they're still with us 2020, when they have eventually, the donors that were coming through Marshall Direct Fund are directly donating through Global Giving to us. And we are, there is a video which will show the transition from MDF to the MOQAH Foundation.
Over the past 12 years together, we have built the capacity of communities in parts of the world where most people found it too challenging or too dangerous to succeed. In neighborhoods where extremist ideologies were on the march, we fought back. Instead of using the power of a sword or bomb, we used the quieter approach with a focus on long-term collaboration. Together, we unleashed the power of the pen, the power of pro-social education, the power of human connection across cultures, and the power of women with economic opportunities to combat the financial circumstances and closed-minded narratives that have given rise to conflict and terrorism. Together, we chose the hard path because it was the right path. And while on this path, we formed relationships with members of the community, big and small. From the lively voices of preschoolers learning to read and sing the alphabet, to the wisdom of elders in the Pashtun communities, to the mothers who wanted a better future for their children, and the fathers whose eyes shine with pride when describing how much his daughter enjoyed her school, we listened and grew. We saw the local community comprised primarily of Afghan refugees and internally displaced people come to support things leading experts on affairs in AFPAC said were impossible. This happened because we went slow to go fast. In earning the trust of the local communities, we also earned the respect of local leaders. We helped build the capacity of the local communities to attract support of the schools and training programs. This took many long years, but we built transparent financial systems, registered a sister nonprofit called MOQAH Foundation as a local organization with full legal status to operate locally and collect tax-deductible donations. As the years passed, local philanthropists stepped up to the plate and helped raise funds to match those being raised in the U.S. Today, MOQAH Foundation, the organization that you helped build, is ready to step to the next level of taking on the primary role of financially supporting the schools beginning in 2020. What does this mean? It means we are celebrating the success of the local capacity building that you started. It means tonight, as a gift of inspiration, we create a legacy fund to fortify your legacy. The legacy fund will be used to assure a smooth transition between Marshall Direct Fund and MOQAH Foundation funding to sustain the schools forever.
The transition from Marshall Direct Fund to MOQAH Foundation. So MOQAH Foundation is now totally on its own, and it has been an independent organization. We do the fundraising, we do everything, we carry on the work, and we carry on. That's how we move on. We have another PowerPoint slideshow which will tell you more about MOQAH Foundation, how we are working, and how we are serving the underprivileged children with a focus on reducing illiteracy and providing learning opportunities that foster critical thinking and empowerment. With that in mind, we will watch another video, a slideshow, which will you will get to know more about MOQAH.
अस्सी साल की उम्र में अपने नवासों की अपनी बेटी की खिदमत कर रहा हूँ और नालायक दामाद मिलने की वजह से मुझे निहायत तकलीफ़ पहुँची है।
Are girls your age who are not in school getting married?
जी यस मैम जी कर देते हैं। यस हमारे नहीं।
They're not happy. The girls are not happy with that.
Education matters.
Education matters.
Education merit.
Education matters. Education matters. Education matters.
Do you have anything more to add to it?
Yes, we have another slideshow coming up, so which is more about MOQAH Foundation. So we just wait. By providing quality education, we are trying to bring a positive change in the society. This is the mission of MOQAH Foundation. We work to bring these children that you see here to school and to prevent child labor. That's our focus, and that's what we want to do. It is not only their right to dream, they have a right to education. And that is what we believe, and everyone believes that. Together, we can transform the lives of thousands of children, and education can enable them to have lifelong economic independence and improved quality of life. One child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world. We all agree to that. No doubt, education is the most powerful weapon. We all agree, and we work together to have all these children in school and to have that's the only way a country can develop, when all children are in school. So let's work together to educate them and change the world. MOQAH Foundation wants to build a more peaceful and a prosperous world. We work to provide these children learning opportunities, and so that they can take a start once they leave the school. Let us give them what can change their lives. Education, yes, education. This is the Barakahu School, where we have, which opened in 2009, and we have about 250 students. So the school, other than providing classes to the regular classes to the students, we have extracurricular activities going on. We hold parent-teacher meetings, and of course, then we have our annual teacher trainings here. So where teachers, kind of brush up their knowledge, and according to whatever the requirements are, so they work on that. Shehupura School, this is the Shehupura School with this, again, this was also set up in 2009, and where children, and Shehupura was, it was a huge challenge for us, because this community was much more conservative. But eventually, once we started the schools here, we won over the elders, the people there, the local leaders there, and now we have 225 students. Modern day pen pal program, which we call Global Kid Connect. We have Macy here, she'll tell you more about it, but this has really changed the perspective of our students. Our enterprise development program, which has been there throughout, provides skills and business opportunities to the community women who would not otherwise have access to training. Most of them are illiterate. So it is a very good way of engaging them and, of course, putting them together, and that's how they think out of the box and come up with ideas, business ideas, which they can, they don't have to leave their homes to come and work. These are some new trainings that we launched, and this was with Alternative Globe Entrepreneurs. We have done a couple of trainings, and we are still into the process of it, but last couple of months have been, we had to close down because of Corona, which is like everywhere. So once, of course, things are better, so we'll resume these trainings once again. It's really, it's really good to see these women who do not have any concept of stepping out of their house even at times. And they are learning financial skills, money management, budgeting, banking, credit, and how to create a business plan. And they come up with brilliant ideas. One is so surprised as how can they think of such things, these women who have never been out of their homes. That's how you can help MOQAH Foundation. So this is a list of which we can share later on too. So it's about sponsoring, starting from sponsoring a child, providing him uniform and school shoes, up to sponsoring a classroom for a year. This is also, you can see this on our website also, and one can take up any of these things. People can share this and we will share them. And obviously, if there is any other question, if anyone wants to know, you can contact me directly, find out, email me, and I can help you with it. This donation, this information is basically for anyone who is in Pakistan or who wants to donate through Pakistan. So we have the MCV account for MOQAH Foundation there. So this is the account number, the title of the account title, and the details of the bank account. For those who are in the US or for people world over, the global giving is, we get our donations through global giving. This link puts you through to the global giving. And the best part is that anyone who is donating through global giving gets an acknowledgement email. And then every 3 months you get a report from the MOQAH Foundation, which is published on global giving website. So I think Macy is there to talk about her pen pal program and how she started it with the MOQAH Foundation. We leave it to her. I'll leave it to her.
Thank you, Farida. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Macy Hopkinson, and I live in Aspen, Colorado, and I'm 17 years old. So I'm the founder and president of a club called Power to Pakistan. So it's a nonprofit club at the Aspen High School, and we support MOQAH Foundation. So our mission is to provide education to children, mostly girls, in rural areas of Pakistan in order to reduce the poverty level, build gender equity, and provide better futures. So we do this through fundraising efforts and advocacy efforts. And one of our main club activities is a pen pal exchange, which Farida mentioned earlier. So this has been going on for about 3 years now. And over the past 3 years, we've connected 100 Pakistani and US students together. So these pen pal exchanges talk about each other's cultures, holidays, religions, etc. And they've been extremely influential in our effort to build peace and improve relations between the two countries. So the purpose of this pen pal exchange is to diffuse cultural stereotypes and misconceptions, and of course build a bridge of peace between the two nations. And I've witnessed the changes firsthand. I've read the letters of all the Pakistani students exclaiming how all of their views have changed about Americans. For example, before they thought that Americans only cared about money and themselves, but now they realize that we're trying to help them and achieve their educational endeavors. Similarly, in the United States, many of the students who participate in this exchange, many of their views changed as well. So I really believe that this pen pal exchange is a beneficial way to create peace between the two nations, and it's extremely simple to do. So our initiative this year in Power to Pakistan is to increase this exchange among different schools in the United States and Pakistan, so then we can effectuate even more change. So we're doing this through a program that will be rolling out in the next couple months called Exchange to Change. And this will be an online pen pal platform that will foster easy and free communication between the two schools. But in addition to our pen pal exchange, we also participate in fundraising activities. Through our pen pal exchange, we've actually created 3 successful products. So one of them being the Sumaya scarf. So this was designed by a Pakistani pen pal named Sumaya. Another one, we created a Pakistani cookbook, which features 15 authentic recipes shared by our pen pals. And currently we're creating COVID-19 masks, which were designed by our Pakistani pen pals. And these are all for sale, but we'll talk about that later in the donating section of this presentation. Additionally, so over the past 3 years, we've raised over $5,000 for MOQAH Foundation, which is enough to educate 25 girls for a year. Some of our fundraisers have included a student-led panel discussion. We showed the documentary Girl Rising, which Farida mentioned briefly. And another one of our fundraising efforts was an ice cream bike that we ran over the summer. And now Tahir will show a video about that.
Hi, my name is Macy Hopkinson, and I'm the founder and president of Power to Pakistan. Thank you to all who participated, and looking forward to next summer.
Thank you, Macy. That was brilliant. Really, what a marvelous project you've done. God bless you. You know, it is so interesting. You remember when you contacted us in June, all right, to Mr. Barry Hoffman, and that was the time when this new board was coming up. You know, and I had not assumed office and many of my members. So we said, okay, once we are back in place, then we'll take it up. You remember, I responded to you. So, and Barry Hoffman was so excited about that. He's our honorary consul general for Boston for 44 years, you know, and that is something itself. So, you know, he told me about this, and after that, I was so impressed. I said, look, PAGB will definitely support this, and you know, and we really think that we would like to make like an invisible bridge between USA and Pakistan in general, and you know, to support, and we will do a little bit, what little we can do from Boston. You've already done amazing stuff, but you know, now you know that it's not only in Colorado where you are based, but we in Boston are with you. All right.
Thank you, Siraj. Yeah, I really am so thankful that you reached out and that we've connected, because now we can reach even more people.
Right, and you remember I asked you that I hope you're making plans to go to Pakistan at some point, and you know. So
I definitely hope to do so.
And good luck with your college preps and everything. I hope you will keep the steam going even when you're in college. You know, you've assumed a lot of responsibility for Pakistan.
I will. Thank you.
Right. So thanks very much. And Farida, may I request you to tell us a little bit more about how we people who want to help and contribute and donate to go about doing that, please. Can you? I know you touched on that a little bit earlier on, and then Macy, you can also add later on the check option. Okay, Farida, is over to you.
Siraj, what we can do, as we saw in the slide, that there is a bank account in Pakistan. So anyone donating through Pakistan can donate directly to the bank. The second option is global giving, which is the best option actually. So anywhere internationally, we have our donors. Our previous Marshall Direct Fund Group donors are donating through that. And the minute we receive a donation, we acknowledge it by email, and it's on record for everyone to know that this amount has been donated by so and so. We respond to them, acknowledge their donation through email, so which makes it very transparent. This is the link. And besides, other than that, if anybody wants to see our reports or whatever is going on in the schools, through every 3 months we put up a new report for global giving, and people can stay connected with us. And the donors also get the reports automatically once you start donating to us. Second option is sending the checks through Power to Pakistan and to Macy, of course, and then through Power to Pakistan, which would be there's a mailing address. And you can donate by checks to Power to Pakistan. Macy will in return, she can send it through Global Giving to MOQAH Foundation. The masks that you see here were designed by Pakistani students. The Pakistan cookbook is one thing that is worth taking a look at. It's the efforts of course, the children had put the recipes together, but the way Macy has set up the book, it's amazing, simply amazing. The scarf that you see is designed by this girl, Sumaya. She is from Waziristan, one of the IDP families, and she was one of the students she's one of the students who's never even, she doesn't even is allowed to step out of her house other than coming to the school. So this thing, designing a scarf for her and, getting the first, being selected for being first in this competition, it was a big thing for her. It's a very useful scarf. It has a pocket in it. You can zip your wallet. You can zip I use it for traveling also. Your passport card comes in. So yes, so we have this Sumaya scarf. We call it Sumaya scarf.
Yes, going off of that, Sumaya was actually my pen pal, so I got to know her very well. And she and I were talking about the scarf and how excited she was that she won the competition. It really just gave her a boost of confidence, and she was so thankful.
Right. Well, let me tell you this right now. I want to be the first one to buy 2 scarves for my daughters. They look so cool. So I will process that. And also, while we were talking, actually, I got a message from Mr. Barry Hoffman, who was not able to make it in this session today. But, he didn't mention the amount, but he said that he's going to make a contribution by check, and he will send it to Macy. So he noted the address, and that should be coming. And yes, and I'm sure others will join in also. But what I would like to add is that if there's any further clarification that anybody wants to have on the payment, then they can always contact me. Maybe some people are not sure whether they want to pay by credit card to Global Giving, or to the MCB account, or to PTP, or Power to Pakistan, sorry, using the short word. So they can always contact me for clarification. But I think it's pretty much there. The options are there, whatever people feel comfortable about, that is there. And so thank you, Farida, thank you, Macy. And with that, sorry, Macy, you want to add something?
Well, another thing is you could visit the Power to Pakistan website, which is simply powertopakistan.com, and that has more information with pictures, and you can flip through the cookbook and see the scarves, and it has more videos, so you can access that. And that's also where you can purchase the products, and you can also donate by Global Giving.
Right. No, I know I don't know much about cooking, but I was very impressed by just that. And of course, COVID-19 mask is a wonderful idea. So with that, I'll open the floor for any questions and answers, please. We have a few minutes, so please, Farida's there, Macy's there. Go ahead and.
Siraj, did you want to show the dance part?
The art day video.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, yes.
Okay,
Let's, I'm totally sorry. Totally forgot about that.
no problem.
Okay, Art Day. Uh, Faida has been talking about curriculum development and all that. And I wanted to, there was this video she shared with me. And I thought that, the education system not only covers the arts and sciences, but performing arts, and which it's so dear to me. And Tahir already has that clip, and you will see that how these children have been involved in this. And what you will see is a performance on an art day, a dedicated art day. The song and dance that they're doing took place in Islamabad, the Islamabad school, and it's Pashto. And it's kind of just demonstrates that that music is really a universal language. You can enjoy that irrespective of what language. Farida, you must add that what you were telling me about somebody out there who wanted to have some more religious or something twist to it, and you said no. So, something to that effect. You said no. The children are interested in this.
No, we did. We had some neighbors coming up and complaining that we were playing the music and they were singing and music going on in the school. So what does that have to do with the school? So
yes.
So I was like, well, this is part of our culture, and this is why these children are here, and that's why it's their right to dance and sing and celebrate. So we had a good argument, but eventually, with the neighbor, the community, of course, we have the support of the community. So yeah, these kind of challenges are always there, and we are prepared for them. So that gentleman was pretty offended by the music that he heard, and well, we deal with it.
Right. It's all part of the game. Right. So, any questions, please, from people who are here, who are listening and watching? Please go ahead. You just have to put your hand up to say that you have a question, and then, or you say something, Tahir will direct it to you.
Yeah. This is Hassan Usmani. Can I ask?
Yes, Hassan, we can see you.
Okay, good. So, great effort. You were talking about schools being existent since 2009, right? If I got it correct. Can you talk a little bit about what have you accomplished over the last 11 years? I mean, how many students have, I don't know if they have graduated or, what stages have they been in, and just, give us a little more sense of how the organization or how the schools have functioned and what changes, if any, they have made in people's lives.
Right. Very relevant question. Yes. Yes, Farida.
2009, when Marshall Direct Fund was adopted these schools and started operating them, these schools were primary schools basically. So they were up to, we had two preschool classes and they were up to grade 5. So that's how they were. But in 2014, when MOQAH Foundation took over, we started upgrading the schools by each year. This year, we had our first class of metric, which appeared for the exams, and the results are out. We got 100% result, luckily. And these were all girls, amazingly. We had a couple of boys, but one of them who was to appear for these exams, his father was very sick and he could not take the exam. So next year, he'll be taking them next year. So we have, our biggest achievement is that we have upgraded and these schools are up to grade 10 now, and our first batch is out. So what we plan, we have a very realistic dream for these children. We want them to be into vocational trainings. If they can pursue their studies or go to colleges, that is fine, we can support them. But considering the communities and the mindset there, we doubt if any such thing is going to happen. We meet up with the parents. One of the girls is planning to go to school, to college. Other than that, the other girls, what we have offered them is that we can help them, coach them in our schools for if they want to pursue studies and if they want to do them privately. So we will be helped. Other than that, we have this we want them to take up vocational trainings. If we do have a couple of vocational training centers in the vicinity, which is one of them is DEPTA, which is known all over Pakistan for their vocational trainings. While we were, I may not have mentioned it earlier, we do have a couple of vocational skills programs going on in the schools, which is sewing, cutting, cooking, agriculture, and the one more thing that we do is computer trainings. So if these children want to pursue these, we can help them with that. And I consider it as, we being there to guide them in their future lives is what we can do at this point. 3 girls who are not pursuing their studies, we have offered them to join the school as teaching assistants. So they will be teaching, assisting our teachers in their classes, and they can learn in the process. And of course, if they want to, continue with their studies, our teachers will be there to help them out.
Right. Farida, I know you may have mentioned it earlier, but now, so what's the student population now in each of the schools? We have over 240 in our Barakaw school and a little over 225 in Sheikhupara school. Actually, this year has been like, the school classes have been off since March. So we have no idea how many admissions are we going to have this year or how are we going to cover them, because these 2 students, we are sending them homework packs on a weekly basis. And throughout the summer break, we have been sending them. That's how we have been operating. Obviously, there's no concept of online classes for those children. So the kind of, they don't have those facilities. They don't even have phones, let alone a computer or anything. And providing them computers is like next to impossible for us at this point. So once the schools reopen, that's when we can determine how many more children are coming in. So let's around 500. 500, yes, that's a good estimate. And when do you expect the schools to reopen? I mean, with the current situation there.
The government has announced sometime by the end of September, and some schools to reopen in October. But we will still have to see how things are, because these communities where we are working, social distancing, any hygiene, such things are things which would be a huge challenge. So we can't take a chance with them. We will just wait and see how things are. We can have senior children coming in, and or alternately one class or the other. But of course, it has to be seen and how things are on ground when we in October or whenever we decide to open the schools.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, Barako was the first locality to come under lockdown, because we had the maximum cases coming up in Islamabad with the pandemic.
I have one question. I have Farooq Salim. I see him in the audience. He is from Dowd Engineering College from Pakistan, and I went to the same college. And I know that he is one of the pioneers who started a scholarship, alumni, Dowd Engineering College alumni, a scholarship for the underprivileged students who are very bright students but don't have enough money to get their fees. So they have, we all have contributed to that fund. And I think Farooq, maybe you can tell us about it if you are there. And we provided a lot of scholarships for students. Every year we do that. I think we have been doing that for almost like 10 years now or more. So I'm sure something like that could be done also for your group, the MOQAH Foundation, like starting an overseas scholarship for students. So you can, I'm sure Pakistan Association of Greater Boston, Siraj and the members that are present here can probably initiate such a role here.
Is Farooq there?
Farooq? I think couldn't get him there. It's okay.
Oh, all right. I thought just maybe.
No, he's there, but he'll jump in as I get him.
Right. Okay. So, any other questions while we wait for Farooq from anybody else in the audience? Yes. No. Hassan, you did that? Your question got answered, or you have another additional question?
No, I think the question got answered. Thank you very much. I mean, I can, if there's no one else, I mean, I can ask a follow-up, which was so in terms of the people who graduated or took the metric exam last time, so how many are there? How is it split up between elementary and, how many continue all the way through to the end? What's been your experience? And
we have a dropout rate. So with the children,
yes, go ahead.
Sorry, I thought I was okay. We haven't had dropouts, so that way we have been lucky. And if at all, if a child stops coming to school, we just, our teachers and even myself, we go to their houses and convince them to send them back to the school. That way, the students that of course we lost were like about 40% were the Afghan students who went back. So that's how we our senior classes actually suffered. Junior classes are fine. Every year we have admissions coming in, so they are full. But these children who were with us since 2009, and they were like up to they had reached up to grade 10. So we lost most of those students. So that's our only loss that that's where we've lost our students. Otherwise, we don't have dropouts, luckily. I don't know, it's amazing.
I have a question for Macy. Macy, please, in this, I found really this pen pal concept very fascinating because, when I was young, I had a few pen pals when in Australia actually, and I was in Pakistan at that time. And this is so fascinating. And what do you find most gratifying in this exercise, in the pen pals project that you initiated?
Yeah, I think it's a great program, and the more and more I do it, the more I enjoy it. Just reading the stories of all these students, so many students in those schools in Pakistan, they overcome educational repression, and they just have much harder circumstances than some of our students in the United States. And just that our students can understand those just really helps to create peace around the world. And it's just such a different perspective than what we're used to in the United States. Especially, I know some of the students here in the United States take school for granted, but in Pakistan, every day they want to go to school and they fight to go to school. And just the fact that our students in the US can understand that is really, really gratifying.
Right. So how do the exchange, does it go in the good old fashioned envelope, handwritten with a stamp on it, or it's on email? How do you actually do that?
Well, it'd be very time consuming to send it by mail. So we still handwrite them, but we take a picture and then we upload them to Google Drive. So basically like email, and it goes over to that school. Usually I print out the letters, so it's like you're getting real mail, but that's pretty much how we do it. But in the future, we're hoping to create this this online pen pal exchange through Exchange to Change, because that could foster like easier communication. It took a long time to send the pictures, so hopefully we could connect more with this online system.
Okay, good. Thank you. Any other questions, please? From people who are there. So if not, then Faida, could you have some closing remarks for us to wrap up our session today?
Raj, I am grateful to you, and I'm grateful to all the members who are here, and many thanks to all of them for joining us tonight. It's great knowing every one of you, and Siraj, what you do and the way you do it is commendable. Thank you so much. And I'm grateful to Tahir for putting it up together, putting it up for us. Thank you very much once again for being here, for joining us tonight.
Right. Well, it is my pleasure. Anybody who knows me even a little bit knows how much I have always been wanting to remain, keep at least one foot in the life of the children. I've always been with the PTA, and it's not just with my 3 children, but so many other kids throughout my life in my younger days. And I somehow feel that even, growing older and gray hair and all that, that thing has not declined. In fact, I feel so connected. I've learned so much from the children. And I've been also very privileged to be, for instance, being a consultant to Malala Yousafzai, Malala, setting up the Malala Fund in UK. So, but it's God has been, very kind to me, that somehow opportunities always have come along, for me to take part into this thing, and it provides me the required gratification for myself. And I know this MOQAH Foundation has now come and touched my life, and PAGB, we've got such a good board here. And believe it or not, we have some of us, we haven't even met in person, because we got elected on the board in June, and we've had one event, but it was all Zoom and remote. But we are very optimistic that we'll meet in person soon. But it's a challenge, and we are able to even have something together in these times. But my feeling is this, that more than any time ever in my life, I think this is a time to stay connected. and go and Zoom just came into our lives. It's like a blessing, because I just imagine that where it's a challenge even to do your weekly groceries to Stop and Shop, to be connected here, in this way. This is the only way we can connect. Imagine what would it be without this. So, and with these videos you showed us, Farida, it took us back to Pakistan, back to rural Pakistan. It's good to be, connected in that way, especially in these times here. I wish you a safe and uneventful flight back to Pakistan, and wish you wish you the best to carry on doing what you're doing. We will do whatever we can from here to mobilize and provide you the fodder that you need there. Yes, and we cannot just survive on fresh air and water. We realize that, we need to have things going in. But yes, and we will publicize what we did today and through websites, and God bless technology. So anyway, thanks very much. Time to wrap up. Thank you everybody for joining us. It was very interesting, very engaging. I hope you know a little bit more about MOQAH Foundation and what they're doing. You can visit the website, and ask any questions there. I urge you and request you to contribute financially, in time, and when you're ever going to Pakistan, you contact Farida, and whether you're in Islamabad or Lahore, you should visit the school, meet the children there, and Farida, one request with you is that keep us sharing all these wonderful videos that you've made. It's so exhilarating to see these children dancing and singing songs, and it's all part of the upbringing. I really feel that the social studies and math and English and all that is very important. But I think to really complete your personality, you have to be in performing arts as well. So I cannot emphasize it enough. So please keep sharing all the activities that you're doing. I've told you this. I believe that you have to have a story to tell in the websites and everything. I'm a very heavy proponent of that. So please do share. We'll keep on knowing more and more about what you're doing, what the kids are doing. God bless you, and have a safe flight back.
Thank you so much.
Right. Okay, folks. Time to say goodbye to Tahir. Thank you so much for putting it together. I really don't know what we'll do without you. Really, it's so you are doing much more than what we expect you to do.
No, don't worry. It's all in the day's work. I'm going to now, if anybody wants to unmute themselves, they can unmute themselves. You want to talk to each other or anything. Otherwise, I'm going to run my end.